Let's begin! In Home Sweet Home, your wife Jane has gone missing and you are desperately trying to find her. Although the game is called Home Sweet Home, you do visit a number of different places as well as your home, such as a police station and school. The game is played with a DualShock controller, and because of this, the game is fully playable from a seated position. You can have snap turning or free turning selected. Free turning with the analog stick is quite sensitive, but it doesn't take too long to get used to not applying too much pressure for turning, although it is a bit of a shame that you can't adjust the sensitivity in the options menu. In the game you can run, crouch, and bring up a torch at any time you want. No shadows cast from objects when your torch is shone on them, but there is still some very good use of lighting that creates a very creepy atmosphere. The gameplay is really split up into different stealth sections. The majority of the time you will be hiding in conveniently placed lockers and crouching just out of sight from a girl. You can actually hear her before you see her. She makes a scary clicking noise when she is nearby, which makes wearing headphones a must with this game. If she catches you, she will stab you. Seeing her up close is terrifying enough, even without the sensation of being stabbed, so you will want to do your best to avoid her. Her stabbing animation can be a bit off at times though. She may clip through you slightly depending on where you are positioned. You can actually tap X to escape from her, which is something I didn't realise until later on in the game. If you look up, you will see the X button. Tapping it quickly will give you a chance to escape. If you do escape, you will move slowly briefly as you are wounded. She begins to chase you again quite quickly, so your escape really depends on the layout of the area you are in, and if there is a hiding place nearby. She also has minions that scream if they see you. If this happens, your heart will pound, because she is alerted immediately. Hearing her footsteps turn into a run is very frightening. There is another smaller stealth section where you must hide from the gaze of a massive monster. He is very large and incredibly intimidating, especially when his hand is coming towards you. Ultimately you are still hiding, but movement wise, it does change the gameplay up ever so slightly, due to a red light that indicates whereabouts he is looking. Sneaking past him really does require precise timing. There isn't too much interaction in the world, apart from opening doors and using key items to solve puzzles. You won't find drawers and cupboards to open and search, like you do in other VR horror titles, but there is a lot of static objects scattered around the world, so in that sense, it is a quite detailed environment, but the textures are not some of the best we have ever seen. Just like the torch, you can bring up a notepad at any time that displays objectives, key items, collectibles, and Jane's diary entries. All of this is easily readable through the headset. Although the key items you have collected appear in your notepad, there isn't any inventory management. If you have a correct item to use on an object in the world, it will be used automatically. This is a good thing considering correct combinations are not that hard to work out at all. For example, you may need to use a screwdriver to undo some screws or use a key on a door. This setup just saves a bit of time from doing needless menu navigation and ultimately keeps you more involved in the world itself. Although key item combinations are easily thinkable, some of the game's puzzles can be a bit tricky to solve, and there was one where I did have to look at a walkthrough. But for the most part, a quick scan of the environment will give you all the help you need. The beginning of the game is quite linear, right up until you explore the school. This area opens up quite a bit and offers a few different paths to take when avoiding the girl, but throughout the game there is a few rooms here and there that are found off the beaten path. It's worth quickly checking these out, as they may contain collectibles, and you would miss out on some good jump scares and creepy audio if you didn't do a bit of exploring. The game's collectibles is where most of the story is told. It does mainly come from Jane's diary pages, so you will want to keep an eye out for these. You will also get an insight into the actual monsters, which makes each of these encounters a bit more terrifying. On my first playthrough, which took around 4 hours, I wasn't able to find all of the game's collectibles. Luckily, there is a chapter select screen that displays how many collectibles you have found in each chapter, which makes the hunt for missing ones less time consuming and is greatly appreciated if you are a trophy hunter, as you will need to find all of the collectibles to get 100% of the trophies. I'm not showing all the trophies on screen because of spoilers. A lot of them are collectible related, some will unlock naturally through the story, and there is one that asks you to play the same level twice, but by completing it in a different way. Overall, it won't be too hard to get every trophy. This game really did terrify me, so much so that my hands were sweating quite a bit. You're never quite sure what is going to happen next, especially when you enter a whole new environment. Sure, after seeing each enemy for a few times, you do feel a little bit more at ease with them due to you knowing how they will react if they see you, but you're never fully at ease because of the game's amazing jump scares. The game does come with a non-VR mode, but it is obviously so much more scary in VR. The lighting can be quite dark in places in the VR mode, but it does certainly add to the terror. This is chapter 1 of a series, but honestly, whilst playing it, it didn't feel like a chapter experience until the very end. Normally warning signs appear when you hear a game is part of a series, but this time, there's enough scares and story here to make the outing worth it before waiting for the next chapter to release. Overall, it is a very scary experience, and if you're a fan of stealth horror, I think you will be very pleased with it.
No, 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 no. Wait, what? Oh, no, it's a shelf.
If you want to see my first impressions of the game, there's a video of them on screen right now. As always, please like this video if you found the review helpful, and subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.